𝙤𝙬𝙚 Mile has been won by some of the nation's greatest thoroughbreds. Who will salute today? Forbidden Love is aiming for a third Group 1 win in a month. Can she provide the Richard and Michael Friedman partnership with the perfect ending?
But there's another one for Forbidden Love. She's in grand form.
And Jamie Carr another Doncaster triumph. Golden Eagle winner I'm Thunderstruck looks to be peaking at the right time for another big payday.
I'm Thunderstruck went boom over the top.
The last time Private Eye raced over the Royal Randwick Mile, he won the Group 1 Epsom.
Private Eye won the Epsom.
Can last year's winner Cascadian give gun jockey James McDonald his first Doncaster? Or will Gay Waterhouse win an unprecedented 8? Converge carries just 49.5 kilos and ticks all the boxes.
Converge goes on to win the Randwick Guineas by a half length to NMO.
Chris Waller has trained 6 Doncaster winners.
Sacred Falls does it.
You'd be a fool to rule him out today. Kiku won the Carbine at last year's championships.
Kiku kept going and now she's a Group 3 winner.
It's the day's richest race. Who do you have winning the Star Doncaster Mile?
So, Katie, take us through the 1600 metres. Jamie Carr on the favourite draws 12 out of 20. What does she do?
I think she'll use her natural speed. It's a beautiful run to the first corner. It's a sweeping bend into the side straight, which is just about here. But you sort of want to make sure that you've got some sort of cover because it can be hard if you're caught wide. And then from here on in, this is the home corner. So I'd imagine that Jamie will nearly either lead this race or sit outside the leader. She would have gotten in. By this stage, she would have given Forbidden Love a little bit of a breather, and then this is where all the horses will get their chance in the race. And I think you'll see a wide spread over the track, and the track's played absolutely superbly today.
Well, over the long stretch, barrier 12 has been so advantageous. 9 winners from there. Can Cascadian become a legend by winning consecutive Doncasters?
Well, he can. He actually was unlucky 2 years ago as well in the Doncaster, so he loves the race. He's got to carry the top weight of 56 kilos. He's drawn outside. I don't think that'll bother him. And he wasn't all too bad in the All-Star Mile behind 𝙤𝙬𝙧. So a nice fit horse.
So let's join Lizzie. She picks up with I'm Thunderstruck.
Well, here he is, the Victorian I'm Thunderstruck. Well, we know him very well up here. Of course, he won the Golden Eagle last preparation. He ran also in the All-Star Mile behind 𝙤𝙬𝙧. So we've become very accustomed to this fella. He looks in great shape. He's really well conditioned. Of course, this is one of his grand finals, this preparation. So you would expect him to be parading in this type of manner. He's really healthy in the coat and very bright when you're looking at him in the eye.
Horse number 3 is Private Eye, trying to do a superimpose and win a couple of the big Randwick miles, the Epsom and the Doncaster. Blinkers go on, draws a wide barrier. I've liked his lead-up form. I think he can flash over the top late. He's a key contender. Regan Bayliss knows him so well. And when he won the Epsom, he defeated this horse who ran third, number 4, 𝙤𝙤𝙧.
Who was also third in this race, Richo, last year. Nothing's quite gone right for him this prep, has it?
No, he hasn't, but he's such a good Sydney horse, isn't he? He's I don't know whether or not he really appreciates the heavy conditions, but he certainly doesn't mind it's soft.
Lighthouse has been under a bit of a cloud, Lizzie, but she's been ticked to run.
She has. She had a pulse in her foot, and prior to that she was really well fancied after her win in the Coolmore. Of course, she's an American-bred mare. She's under the tutelage of Kieran Maher and David Eustace, and from my perspective she's walking out nicely. There's no knocks on her action. Law of Indices has finally come to a distance where I think he's going to hit his peak form.
He's a Group 1 winner in France. Can he do it here?
There's a sense of timing about this horse. I believe Annabelle Neesham has placed him perfectly. He ran third behind Forbidden Love, not beaten all that far in the George Ryder, and he has got some form on heavy track. So watch for him with 53 kilos on his back. Here's Ellsberg Lizzie, a nice speedy customer.
He is. I love him. He's a gorgeous looking type. If anyone wants to know what a perfect horse looks like, have a look at Ellsberg. Beautiful coat, really well balanced. He's got everything in his favour, and I think that the way that his racing pattern is, he's going to be able to run really, really well.
Inspirational Girl. I suppose the only query with Inspirational Girl is a heavy track. Never raced on a heavy track. She's a mare by a reliable man. I know she's a Perth mare, but if she can handle the cut in the ground she gets today, and we've seen her in the past handle soft, She is right into this race. Her win in the Blamey was outstanding. 9's a Scratching Hungry Heart due to the track. 10 is Ice Bath, who absolutely loves it wet. She's won $3.8 million. She was disappointing in the All-Star Mile. She gets back to Randwick, where she's raced so well in the past. She'll be back to her best today with 51.5 kilos. She is a contender. 11 Skylab's an outsider, but an outsider with a chance.
He was in the Derby this time last year, Katie.
Yeah, he was. He's a horse that we absolutely adore, don't we, Bruce? He's a good trier. He's big odds. He's Kiss on All Four Cheeks. This mare by Written Tycoon, she's in great form. She won the Shaftesbury Avenue. That was on top of the ground. She's had one go on the heavy track, and she's a winner on the soft track. So we never know. With 51 kilos on her back, she might be the one. Numerian, the other Annabelle Neesham runner, Robbie Dolan, in the saddle, 51 kilos on his back. He ran at Flemington last start in a quality race behind Gentleman Roy.
Brutality got here by winning the Villiers. He's on the back up, which absolutely suits him. He's that type of horse. Is he good enough to win the Doncaster? Well, maybe with that way. Here's the favourite, Lizzie, Forbidden Love.
Yeah, she's been an absolute revelation with these wet tracks, this preparation. The Guy Walter, the Canterbury Stakes, and then the George Ryder. And she just hits this race with the perfect weight on her back, nice and low down. And she gets Jamie Carr, who has won this race last year. She is the favourite for every reason I just stated.
Horse number 17 is Just Folk. What a story it's to be for young Josh Julius to win his first Group 1 and team up with Dean Holland. Won a Crystal Mile at Moonee Valley on Cox Plate Day. Won the Ajax as a lead-up. Loves Rain Affected, going with 50 kilos. Big chance in the race. Whether he's classy enough, that's going to be the testing material, but he's got a lightweight to get him into it.
Kiku won a 1,600 metres at Randwick on this day last year, the Carbine Club.
Yeah, she did. She loves Randwick. She always runs well here and appreciates the heavy conditions. And Chris Waller, his only runner in the race, and the last time that happened, he won the race.
Yeah, it was his first Group 1 win, wasn't it? There's so much to like about Mr. Brightside, Lizzie. He's just so honest.
He is very honest, low down in the weights. He's got a little bit of a task from where he's drawn, but he has been running very credibly. He's probably just a little rung below a few of these horses. It's quite a compressed weight scale, with the lower weights being more popular, or there's more of the lower weights this time around, so he doesn't quite have that advantage. Converge comes out of the Rosehill Guineas. He's stepping back in trip to the mile. He's just starting to turn in his coat, so he's just starting to feel a little bit of the winter, but that shouldn't slow him down. He's never one that jumps out at you physically, but he's drawn perfectly. I've
been pushing refresh all week on Racing Australia, seeing if there's a scratching to get this guy into the field. His name is Banker's Choice. He's got 50 kilos. Eye catcher in the George Ryder at weight for age, plummets down in weight, handles Rain Affected going, best roughie in the race for mine. And then here's the Cranbourne Cup winner, and he won this. It was a heavy 10 in the Cranbourne Cup, so the wet track won't be a worry. Look at the price he is for Robbie Griffiths and Matt DeCock. King Magnus makes the field.
Good stuff, guys. Let's go to the tab. For the Star Doncaster Mile, Ben, always one of the great betting races in any calendar year.
Absolutely. It's one of my favourite events, and I can't wait to see how Forbidden Love fares, because so many trainers I've had to chat to over the past few days and weeks have said, my horse is going well, but how about Forbidden Love? Down in the weights, the handicap has missed him, $3.20. I'm Thunderstruck, $5.50. Converge at $10. Banker's Choice, yet $18. Has hardly budged from there all day. Ellsberg's been a drifter, 14 out to $19. Mr. Brightside, 15 out to $19 as well. Cascadian, wouldn't that be a story? $31 to $21, having bottomed out at $19. Lighthouse at $21, and even more the remainder. But Forbidden Love, $3.20 favourite and well supported.
Thanks, Ben. She'll go forward, Katie. I don't think she'll lead, but she'll go forward. What's the speed map tell you?
I don't think she really has much of a choice from her barrier, and just being on such a speed, she's naturally gifted with speed, Forbidden Love. So she'll go forward from the mid-draw. Ellsberg is a speedy customer. He'll certainly push forward. Converge, I always prefer ridden a little bit quieter, but no doubt he won't be too far away from that barrier. Skylab, Nurayan, they won't kick up from their inside draws. They'll go back. Private Eye, Cascadian, the same there. So interesting runners with Lighthouse and Mr. Brightside, what they do from out there.
A sense of timing, Richo, about I'm Thunderstruck. You're with Mick Price.
He's a pretty special horse. I'm Thunderstruck. Mick Price joins me Mick, you get there, you ran really well in the All-Star Mile. How do you think you saddle up here for the Doncaster?
Well, from a training perspective, he's perfect, but you've got him trained on beautiful tracks, and the All-Star Mile was a beautiful track, and then this is a bit of a slugfest here. It's like a total wet track, albeit that he's handled heavy 8 at Sale, and we bought him off a heavy 8. I think he'll handle it, but I hope I'm wrong. But the last furlong here up this little hill is where this slugfest track will sort of sort out, all that sort of stuff.
Okay, your leg up, 𝘿𝙤𝙣𝙘𝙖. What were your instructions to Hugh?
Well, he's from Dunedoo, right? They don't waste words. I gave him the opportunity to say, "What's the plan?" And he goes, I said, "That's enough."
Not a word.
Those are the instructions.
Just facial instructions.
He's got his own ideas, and he's a brilliant jockey. And I think it's basically in the front third without getting too far back. I got that much out, but that was the instructions. It's like sign language from Dunedoo.
God love you. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Well done, Richo. Well done, Mick. Lizzie, who's the pick?
Oh, this is always a difficult race. I'm going with 𝘿𝙤𝙣𝙘𝙖 on top. He gets a lovely run in transit. He looks perfect in condition, and overall he's been racing really consistently. So I think that he has to go as the on-top selection. I probably think Forbidden Love, from all the parades I've seen her at, I think this is her best parade. So I would suggest that she's going to be very hard to get past. And of course, I'm Thunderstruck. He's a really strong individual now. He's really strengthened from the previous times that I've seen him. And you'd have to give him an opportunity to run well. But I'm with 𝘿𝙤𝙣𝙘𝙖, and I think Forbidden Love will also be very hard to beat.
About $19, $20. Thanks, Lizzie. Dean, we go to you. There are so many angles, Dean. Just looking at the last horse to win this race that didn't have their last start in New South Wales was Sunline in 1999. We've got a half a dozen out of that All-Star Mile, so it's a different feel this year, I reckon.
Yeah, it certainly is, Bruce, and you always see with the Doncaster such big-name horses at 33, 40, 50 to 1, and that shows you the depth of it. And again, we've got that this year. I'm liking one that's crept into the field the last moment, like Richo. I like Banker's Choice. He's one that did carry the full weight parade and give weight to Forbidden Love last start. Now he meets her at level weights. I think today, looking at him, it's the most relaxed he's been, and he just looks as though he's peaking at the right time. I'm happy to think he'll run well, and it's always been a bit of a race for stories for apprentice riders. He wasn't an apprentice, but James Innes Jr. 2 years ago, and Patrick Payne winning on Soho Square so many years ago with such a lightweight. It's a real chance for T.O. Nugent to win his second Group 1.
I think Paddy was 16 when he won on Soho Square. He had already won one Group 1. I think it was the big mile at wasn't he, Dean? Yeah, exactly. Let's go back to you, Ben, for the all-important hot horse for the Star Doncaster Mile.
There's not much separating Forbidden Love and I'm Thunderstruck in terms of the hold, so I'll go with the bigger price. I'm Thunderstruck is the hot horse for this one at odds. Hard to believe Private Eyes, $26 over a mile here at Randwick, but there's been some specking there.
He's unbeaten at the mile, isn't he, Private Eye at Randwick? And he's amongst those wins, the Doncaster of the Spring, the Epsom. Katie, a last thought or two?
I'm with on Thunderstruck. Not confident. I think a lot of these horses are going to get their chance, and as you're talking about the jockeys being the handicap conditions, it opens a lot of doors up for young jockeys and apprentices that can ride the lightweights, and it's going to be a great event like always.
Jamie Carr's got a hold of nerve, I think, on Forbidden Love. She's the highest ranked horse in the race with such a lightweight. Lizzie, a final thought?
Yeah, look, terrific race. I'm also mentioning Private Eye as well. As you mentioned, he's got such a terrific record over this mile, and he's going to have a little bit of speed on, hopefully, for him.
Oh, great stuff, isn't it? So it was called the Fifth Major. That was before the Everest came along, so you're going to talk about that forever, but it has held a special place in the hearts of all New South Wales and Australian racing folk. Here's Darren Flindell for the Star Doncaster Mile.
Ready for the Star Doncaster Mile. Stand by for a start. Big field at 20. Forbidden Love, this year's favourite, and the gates open now. They're off and racing. No speed by Inspirational Girl. She'll settle last, and 𝘿𝙤𝙘𝙧 won the start from Converge. Going forward is Forbidden Love, and Just Focus slicing through as well. Then came 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙧 from I'm Thunderstruck, and Mr. Brightside on the improver. Lighthouse is cast pretty deep, followed then by Laws of Indices, who's improving on the rails. Then Kiss and All Four Cheeks on the inside of Ice Bath King Magnus. Deep out Banker's Choice, followed by Nemerian going up the fence in advance of Brutality. Then came Kiku from Skylab, Inspirational Girl, and last year's winner Cascadian settles last 16 lengths off the lead. Clark has the front here on 𝘿𝙤𝙘𝙧, and the favourites running second, Forbidden Love. Looking for another Group 1, Converge, the 3-year-old third, the rails, followed by Just Folk, planted 3 deep on the outside of 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙧. They're followed further back by Lighthouse and a wide path on the outside of Ice Bath, and then came Kiss and All Four Cheeks, the rails. They're followed further back by Banker's Choice as they come up to the home turn. A gap back to Private Eye from Numerian. They've got 550 to run, and it's 𝘿𝙤𝙘𝙧 being eyeballed by the mare Forbidden Love, and the favourite strides up big time on the outside. Then came Converge from Just Folk, 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙧. I'm Thunderstruck is coming into the race as Forbidden Love races to the lead. At the 300, Forbidden Love a length clear. I'm Thunderstruck's the big danger. It's Forbidden Love 3/4 to I'm Thunderstruck. Working into the clear, Mr. Brightside from Ice Bar. Forbidden Love under siege. Mr. Brightside charged up. Mr. Brightside takes the lead. Ice Bath runs on. Mr. Brightside for the Hayes boys wins it. I'm Thunderstruck second, Ice Bath third. Then Forbidden Love, followed by Banker's Choice, 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙧, 𝘿𝙤𝙘𝙧, Cascadian late, followed by Lighthouse, Brutality, King Magnus, Laws of Indices, Inspirational Girl, Numerian, then Skylab. Further back to Kiku, Converge. A gap back to Private Eye, and Kiss on All Four Cheeks.
And as Darren said, the young Hayes boys, the young Hayes boys with Craig Williams, and Craig, who had such a relationship with Ben and JD's father, David Hayes, over the years. Forbidden Love, she ran a mighty race. She probably just got to the front too early. Then it looked I'm Thunderstruck. Then it looked Ice Bath, and then it was Mr. Brightside.
It was. I'm so happy for Ben and JD Hayes and the whole connections there, all the owners, such loyal supporters. And Richo, you're with the connections.
Where is he? Is he in there?
Down to you, Richo. Can you hear us, mate? It's all yours. It's all yours.
Amongst all the Hayes boys, I'm waiting for Ben to come across as well. What an extraordinary feeling. I can see the tears in your eyes, mate. Please describe what is going through your mind.
Oh, look, it's just a huge thrill. Ben and I are so fortunate. We're at the front of such a big machine at Lindsay Park, and there's just so many important people that are here that make it work. And I just don't want to thank anyone because everyone's so important. And to deliver on a big day like that, Craig rode him beautifully from the wide barrier, and it just fell into place, and just means a lot.
Can you describe the last couple of 100 metres? Stay with us, Jodie. Can you describe it?
It was incredible. Just with all the change our business has had, to be able to get this result with my brother, everyone behind the scenes who worked so hard for this, and he's such a special horse to us, and it was such a good result, Richie. Great ownership group. Craig loves this horse and rode him perfect. It was a perfect ride.
I don't think everyone in racing is just so pleased for you, because when your dad goes away to Hong Kong, he took some really good horses with you, yet you guys inherited a small team and you're trying to build it up. Can you believe you're now a Group 1 winning trainer?
Oh, no, I think it'll sink in tomorrow morning, hopefully with a big hangover. But no, it is what it is. But Ben and I, inherited a great facility, great employees around us, great client base, and a lot of horses. So it was up to us, and we really do feel like when you put in the hard yards, hopefully it all falls in. So a day like this just rewards everything.
Did you speak to your dad leading into this?
I know there'll be no prouder person in the world than our father and my mum. Well done. We did it. Got a Group 1, so hopefully many more to come.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. Everyone's so excited for you. You've got an opportunity to lead in the horse, mate. Well done, both of you.
Incredible stuff. The Hayes family's won about 180 Group 1s. I'm pretty sure, we've had a quick check, no Hayes has won at Doncaster. And I mean, CS, their grandfather's a Hall of Famer, a legend. David, their father's a Hall of Fame. The pressure these two young boys have been under, I might bring you in here, Lizzie, for a moment. I mean, the pressure these two boys have been under, this is massive for them, isn't it?
It is, Bruce. I'm rather emotional actually seeing them up there. replicating what their father's been able to do, training Group 1 winners together. They had a huge amount of pressure on their shoulders. There was a lot of doubters out there as well, and in their first season together they've proved everyone wrong and won a Doncaster, and I know David and Prue will be extremely proud of them, along with all the staff at Lindsay Park, and there's someone at home, Gary Fennessy, and obviously Will Hayes as well, who are also integral parts of the team. Just an absolute fairy tale for them.
You've seen these boys grow up a bit, Lizzie, with that work, haven't you? And they've grown up today in so many ways. And the All-Star Mile provided the trifecta in the Doncaster today. So, well, how does that song